Greetings, salutations, and other big words. My name's Ethan. My handle is Wrangler. Welcome to Frequency Studios. Weekly Wing It number 88 here on Rumble and YouTube. And starting it off with us tonight is Frederick B. Moan.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? 88, eh? This is reminds me of the 88 miles per hour in Back to the Future. Maybe we're going to go into some future thoughts and future dreams tonight.
That sounds like a good idea. Also sets my mind on Dale Jarrett, racer number 88, UPS. What I remember most about that was we want to race the truck. Of course, if they're going to race the UPS truck, I want to see them try it at Darlington. And James Esparza, creator of World Without End. How's it going?
It's going well, and I was thinking of the crazy 88s from Kill Bill. That was when she goes to Japan to seek vengeance.
I'm going to have to give that an honest watch one of these days. I've only sat down and saw like 20, 30 minutes at a clip. I never caught it from the beginning and watched it through. It looks like a lot of fun.
It's worth it. That movie is it's a love letter to pop culture, and it's got so much actual anime in it, dare I say.
It's great. It's one of his best. Like, it rivals Pulp Fiction. It's up there with the top movies Tarantino has ever done. It's his love letter to kung fu movies, Bruce Lee, and all those incredible athletes.
Nice. Well, other panelists will probably be filing in here and there throughout the show, but right now it's just us. And see, I want to point out I saw in a live stream earlier tonight from Telepathic Bunny. He was interviewing Frost Comics. So around the top of the hour, we'll probably just pop over, take a look at his upcoming project. But for now, we got R.H. Snow, who was in here first.
Oh, there she is.
She was in here before I was.
Welcome, R.H. Snow.
And then, beep, beep, my ride is here.
Hey, Bat Sauce.
I may be back of the bus, but at least I don't have to go very far back to get there. So what have you guys been up to? Frederick, I see you toiling away on another incredible looking page. Let me expand that real quick.
Why, thank you. This is something I started a while back, but I just put it aside because I was doing other drawings for the project. But I think I'm going to be able to finish it tonight in the inking phase. There's just a little bit of penciling left in a couple of panels, so might be done before the end of the stream. Who knows?
That's this page, not the whole book, right?
Just this page, yeah. The whole book isn't even penciled yet. I've penciled up to page 13, and this is page 8, so I'd be inking page 9. That's where I'm at.
Excellent.
Currently, yeah. And I want to say a shout out to Bat Sauce, who I met for the first time on stream. Was it Saturday? Yeah, for the Berserker stream. So check that out.
Awesome. And James, what do you got going on?
I have been spending all day editing videos for, I guess, what you'd call my day job, which part-time day job, which is making a bunch of YouTube videos. I've been actually helping out a friend with this brand new channel, and it's been growing like crazy. It's pretty good to be part of a team that has been producing a lot of video. Well, not a lot of videos, but getting a lot of subscriptions and views. The channel is actually called Proven Conspiracies, where we essentially break down in 10 to 15 minute videos different conspiracies that have already been proven, and there's documentation on them, like MK Ultra, MK Naomi, Operation Midnight Climax, Operation Mockingbird, and one that I'm working on right now is called Operation Acoustic Kitty, where the CIA was trying to train cats to be spies.
Oh, Frederick, I wish I had that clip that you play all the time right now.
With the cats and the machine guns.
Yes, that's so awesome.
I sent you a few clips on.
Oh, did you?
Did I? On the Gilded? Or I thought of doing.
Let me go look at Gilded.
Not today, but I think I sent it to you last week.
I actually do have a subscription to one of those video AI tools that I never
If not,
used.
I can do that right now, actually.
I should try to make some fun.
It's not there.
No, okay. I'll pull it up while we're on the stream and get some over to you. Especially starting with the kitties. You need to have the kitties for sure.
Yeah, that one is just. It's like if you take my mainline series, if you take the Bad Kitty aspect and the Stellar Marshal aspect and cram them together, that's what you get.
They're so cool.
Yeah, space cops. They go into places where there's like all this high tech, and what do they use? Glocks. Actually, that in some cases can be an advantage. The more advanced societies that they're dealing with are so used to these energy-based weaponries that when projectiles come their way, a lot of them are like, "Oh crap!" It is kind of an obsolete tech for the most part, so they're not used to it. So it has its ups and downs. Of course, bullets ain't going to get through an energy field, an actual shielding.
As far as you know, we don't know what that field blocks.
First of all, what are the laws of the universe? Okay.
But yeah. So also you have coming up tomorrow night, Terran Tuesdays, right?
That is correct. RH Snow, who's in the who was or currently is in the chat, will be joining us. She's our co-host for Terran Tuesdays. Her, the Black Knight, go on some fun romps as I sit there pressing buttons and from time to time chime in. But I like to kind of listen in with everybody else because they really do have a lot of magnificent things to talk about. And they have chosen a great topic for tomorrow, a in-depth topic. And it's essentially how the various forms of media influence and kind of bounce off each other. And we're going to be digging in deep. That was one chosen by the Black Knight, and he has a much more what's the terminology? He has a much more refined way of describing that. He calls it the circle of inspiration of arts: drawing, inspiration, music, inspiring writing, inspiring drawing, and so on and so on. So that's going to be a fun one. And we also have a guest panelist joining us, and that's going to be Maji Chan.
Oh, so, nice.
Yes.
Maji! Unfortunately, she won't be able to join us tonight. She's stuck on her shift. So,
yes. So that will be at 3 p.m. California time or 5 p.m. Texas time. So that's going to be great. And Black Knight, that's going to be like 1 o'clock his time. So he's staying up late for that one.
A.M.
Yes.
Black Knight is the author of Star Shatter and the series. I think he's got, is it 8 of them out right now, I think?
He's got a few, at least 7.
And that's just his mainline series. He also has other stuff. And RH Snow, the first book in her series is Transmutation Texas. I would hold the book up, but I lent it to somebody, so I don't have it here right now.
Yeah, she also has an extensive series that's currently available. I believe that is the Watcher in the Dam series. Watcher the Dam series, which is you can find out more at watcherinthedam.com. She got a real cool website.
Okay, Black Knight has 7 out so far in the main series. I think he has scheduled a total of 10. Yeah, and Transmutation Texas is book 1 in the Watcher of the Dam series.
Yeah, so there's a lot of media out there for people to really consume if they're looking for the long form stuff. Black Knight, Watcher of the Dam provide 2 really separate types of writing styles and genres. His is almost strictly in space or off planets, off world, as hers is in post-apocalyptia. So, cool. Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
That's why it's not working. I'm supposed to actually click save, not Control V in this case. Okay. I just got the video, Frederick.
Awesome.
All right, I'm going to load that. Oh,
it's really an evergreen clip. You can play it every stream.
And now that I have it, I probably will. Once I can get it loaded. Yeah, where did you find that, by the way?
Most of the clips I get, I just see them as I'm going through Twitter. So people are sharing it, like meme accounts, stuff like that. So I just use James's application that you recommended, JDownloader 2, I believe. And boom, it grabs all those videos, puts them in in a list, and then I can just batch download them.
Yeah, I actually the video for the game from Skunk's Workshop that we played, that was a share screen off of Twitter. I tried to download it from there, but it told me I needed to upgrade to the paid type to download it, so I just shared the screen instead. Okay, here it is, the Cats with Firearms. Here we go. If you haven't seen this yet, you're in for a treat. Man, look who they flushed out of the brush. Read out.
Hello.
Oh, you know I'm going to abuse that video. But they do have one weakness.
How you doing, Rita? Welcome to the lovely stream we got going on here.
I'm just here to join in for a little bit. I've been neglecting to be on the stream the past few weeks. Things have been rocky over here at Readout Productions.
Yeah, school's keeping you busy and work, I presume.
Yes, classes are back, and I'm really just tired of college. This is the final year, and I see through all the bullshit. And there is so much that has to hold me back from just letting loose what I feel about the education system in the United States of America at the moment. And also I actually ended up changing jobs here the past few weeks, which has its pros and cons.
Yeah, understood. So you ever go, all right, I'm getting this job, the kind of job I always loved, and then once you start working there, you're like, why did I want this job? This sucks. I want my old job back.
Yeah, well, it was a situation of I really didn't want to change jobs. I really enjoyed my previous occupation, but there was a dispute in pay, and I was just getting outright burned out. I'd been at the job for many, many years. And I found another place that was offering better pay and a bit better hours. It's not necessarily something I'm particularly interested in, but I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, it just serves your current purposes a bit better. And
you work in retail, huh?
No, actually, it's the opposite. I did this to get away from not retail, but to get away from, let's say, public services, which I like. I love talking about, that's my whole passion, trying to educate people on history. But there reaches a point where it's like I read out a Dodd 404 has logged out. It's been fried.
Yeah. All right, Snow says she's got to go check on her baby chicks, and we'll be in and out. Love you. Thank you, Snow. Love you too. Hope to see you back in shortly. So what was it? I think you weren't even able to do the live stream earlier this week.
Well, because I was working on a script, and truthfully, I just didn't fill up to it. And I'm like, I want to get this script done because there's a very good chance this upcoming Retracing History, which I still don't know if it'll be out this week. It may be a next week thing. It may be the last Retracing History for a number of weeks, number of months, depending on what the future holds. Not the end of me making videos, by a long shot. I'll still be making the same amount of videos, but I'm thinking about changing up what I'd make.
Gotcha. Now, how many more years of school you got left to deal with?
I'm down to 2 consecutive semesters.
Oh, so this is your last year?
Yes. Unless they move the goalposts again, which they've done to me several times the past year.
The powers that be seem to love that trick.
They really love doing that, and
they
love
just
taking my
can't
money.
not move it.
Yeah, no, I have very little good thing. No, I have nothing good to say about the education system in the United States of America at the moment. If you can, educate your kids through homeschool. If you can't, try to do it through online means. Do not recommend public education at the moment. And the college system is one big scam, in my opinion, at this time.
That's why I went to tech school.
That's how I feel about most systems, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, but if you must send your kids to public school, then I recommend. Now, was it Hank Williams Junior High School or Hank Williams Junior High School? I'm not.
Darn, if there was a school named Hank Williams High School, there would be a lot of explanation. Well, it's just I feel that they
Willie Nelson public education.
They just hype up so damn much about you got to get a degree. And then the best part is it's not just about getting like an associate's or a bachelor's anymore. You get it. Then they're like, oh, but you really need a master's to truly have a full-time position. And I've noticed a trend, and I'm going to be pretty blunt about it. There's a portion of people in the history community that have the degree to their name, but I don't think they have the real world experience of educating history. Maybe in a vacuum, in like a controlled atmosphere, but actually going out and educating to the public. There's a lot more that goes into historical education than just knowing the information and spewing it out.
Yeah,
and
thankfully,
that's what a lot of people
you live in a prime location for your passion.
Oh, I do.
So, and you use that to its fullest. How many times have we seen you out there in the field? Like, here's where it happened. Here's where that went down. 2 years before this, they were just over there doing that. I mean, like, you are on location, and it kind of puts a bit of a new perspective. Like reading so-and-so did this, that, and the other in a textbook is different than this is a landscape they were seeing, and it just kind of brings it more to life, more to reality.
There are things that just do not make sense until you go to the historical location. That's what I'll say. There are just things that no matter what they write does not make sense until you're standing there and you go, oh, that's why. But it's just, and by the way, I don't have an issue with degrees. I don't have an issue with people being well trained. I just know there's a tendency in the history community. You'll have the funny paper and they'll get all the funny papers, but they're not they're only tapped into a certain community or a certain group of people. And they're not good at communicating with multiple groups of people or understanding, what a hard day's work is.
Yeah. I was about to say something to add to that, and I completely blanked out on what it is. So
that's okay.
You'll feel free to keep talking. I'm gonna throw some music on in the background, a little bit of Chill Kid. He has record albums now for his latest album, Try Hard. You can actually buy a physical record of it now. Let me see if I could throw that on screen.
Vinyl?
Yes, vinyl.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is obviously just a web thing, but you come over here, you can flip record, view jacket, and buy record. So you can actually purchase a physical copy. Let me share this and put it in the chat here. Let me copy that link and drop it over here. There, that is now in the chat, but he's got the virtual record player over here where you can actually power up the turntable and oh, did I put the thing in the wrong spot? Yeah. It's kind of a fun little thing.
think you have two songs playing at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the background music, and I started playing that. But
He got distracted.
It sounds awesome though. I love Chill Kid.
yeah, and Try Hard is my current favorite album from him. I mean, I think I like a lot of his stuff, but and Try Hard just nails it. You know, I do
need to
believe
get
he
a
has a
Try-
new album out. Him and Everly together. Let's go over to the Chill Kid page and see what he's got going on. Anti-Hero. Yeah. So it's got two tunes on there, Anti-Hero and one with Everly where it's called Save You. So let me also, yeah, the link is in the description, but I'll copy and drop it in the chat too. There we go. So the two links I just shared, first one is to his physical copy of Try Hard and vinyl, and the second to his Bandcamp, specifically the album Anti-Hero. So feel free to check that out. His stuff is awesome.
Oh yeah, agreed.
So
Yeah, it's nice to definitely have some, I guess what we call alternative producers out there making some music we can choose from, and even like having somebody we can talk to personally, and even get on the stream from time to time and talk about their craft, because that's something, you know, out of all the separate forms of media out there, you don't have too much producing music independently, hopping on the Iron Age wagon. At least not many that I've seen.
yeah, and you produce some music yourself there, James.
I mean, I guess you can say that. I wouldn't necessarily. I'd probably use the word engineer, because I'm kind of just taking lyrics and putting them in an AI machine and seeing what it spits out. Engineer at best.
Yeah, but you're having some fun doing that, and someone tells me if you ever put together a song, you're like, oh, I really like how that went. You probably take it to one of these guys and say, hey, make this one.
I may have already done that. Who
Oh,
knows?
really?
Maybe.
Oh.
But yeah, you know, I thought about that because I make a few, and I got a little YouTube channel where I just like making montages, and I've loved making like just video montages and like homebrewed music videos since I was like 17 years old. And since AI music came out, I thought, oh, this is a nice way of kind of just getting back into the montage game, but just using homebrewed songs specifically made for a particular property or character. And that started out with actually Stargate, believe it or not, because I've always loved just finding somebody who made a song based off of something like Star Trek or Stargate or something like that. Yeah, that's a channel I run, 697 subscribers, so people have been liking it. But I only found one song technically about Stargate, and it wasn't that good. At least it was good, but not really my taste, so to say. So I just decided to make an entire album of AI music, all dedicated to different characters and factions in the Stargate universe.
And I love how you label every single one of them as a soulless AI new metal here.
Yeah, new metal kind of is what helped take the channel off, so that became kind of like the default genre. But it's all just a bunch of stuff that I've seen as a kid, and currently still interested in. Got plenty of. I got like 7 Dragon Ball Z songs, and I think all of them are about different villains and stuff. Because I just like the I guess what you'd call the gallery of villains that
Rogues Gallery.
yeah, the rogues gallery of Dragon Ball Z. They got some very creative villains.
Boo. Majin Buu, I think he's called.
Yes, I actually hopped off the Dragon Ball Z train around the Majin Buu saga, because it was like, okay, it's just gonna be another guy who's stronger than you are, and I see the pattern.
Yeah, and I just noticed something. What am I doing here on stream when I don't have my coffee mug? I'll be right back.
Coffee this late? Oh, that's a bit dangerous. Unless you're pulling an all-nighter.
Yeah, or if I'm going on an interview on a stream, I'll sometimes like drink coffee because I'm more talkative. Like when I've had a cup of coffee, it's easier to have a flow of conversation. But yeah,
Indeed.
you tend to have an all-nighter. That, but hey, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I
No,
can't drink
coffee does wonders.
It does wonders for him, not for me. It sends me to the bathroom every 20 minutes. I'm off the coffee. Yeah,
Whoa,
that's another
yeah.
train of thought. Yeah, I can't drink coffee.
Yeah. If I don't drink coffee, I get a huge headache. So
Well, this is disappointing. Somewhere around here, I have a full coffee mug, and I don't know what I did with it.
Somewhere in the bowels of Wrangler's studio.
because the cat has it. The cat is drinking coffee somewhere.
Yeah, the cat's just over there. at the
Hayes,
table.
don't go drinking my coffee.
You'll see a blur on the screen. That's the cat flying through the air.
And then
No,
coffee
Wrangler
will
did not
just-
throw the cat. It just hit the speed of sound.
And then splurge of coffee in the camera.
Success. Kapla!
Kapah.
I left it outside like an hour ago when I last had a cigarette.
So the question is, has the mug done its job and kept it warm?
Oh, yes, it seals nicely.
Ooh,
Still hot.
There you go.
huzzah.
And stuff. So you're hoping to be completely wrapped up with all the schooling this year, and then what do you think you're going to go into? I mean, obviously history is your thing. You have something lined up?
Here's the truth. I would really like to find a way to use my historical knowledge to be self-employed. Now, how I'm going to do that, we'll figure that out as we get there. But I mean, in truth, I'd love to be able to work at a museum or continue working in historical education, but I think I prefer being my own employer. But
You
I have
belong in a museum.
sometimes I feel like that. I think my freaking house sometimes starts turning into a museum. But
I have a friend in Montreal who does basically that. Like he's an actor, but he'll do like historical videos for the local historical sites. It's like theater pieces that get filmed and stuff like that get shown afterwards.
what I would truly like to do is I want to help as many historical sites as I can, because something I've noticed, not all sites, but especially the smaller ones, they don't have the infrastructure to be on social media or have the marketing and advertising, and that's no fault of their own. A lot of these are strictly volunteer ran and they have limited funds, but that's usually where the best stories can be found in our shared past. It's the small sites. So, I mean, that's kind of what I want Readout Productions to be a means of promoting all of these historic sites that otherwise wouldn't have the ability to get their story out to a national or international audience. But on the other hand, the TubeU is very, very not kind to history videos, especially this month. And not just me, a lot of people on the TubeU who do history, something's going up with the algorithm. Something's up with trying to promote it to the audience. You could say it's simply because nobody's interested in history, but it's just strange how everything's just been plummeting in August for multiple history channels.
Yeah, it's election year and they're playing with the algorithms.
I think they have the algorithm bent to be strictly about feeding them an endless pool of negative political thoughts.
I have
Well,
also
it's
actually
more than
seen
that,
I've seen my views go down on my iMusic channel.
Yeah, it's not just history. I just started noticing amongst my friends in the history community, and then I started noticing everybody having the same complaint. So this isn't about a certain genre or anything. This is on the TubeU. They're just it's all about the political bullshit.
A good deal of it, yes. James, you have a point. It's the political season readout. Yeah, I think you're right. They're swapping up algorithms, but there seems to be more to it than that, because I don't know if it's just me, but I've heard a lot of people saying their focus is going wonky. It seems like I turn on a video and then my mind just starts wandering everywhere but, and I don't even complete the thing. It's like I can't focus on nothing. So I don't know if that's a common issue where everyone's having tougher and tougher time just keeping interest in any one thing. But sometimes it's like, I see all this cool stuff. Can't pay attention to any of it. And it's probably our electronic world just frying our brains because it's constant stimulus, and now we're just all kind of numb.
Well, if there's a period in time where everybody's brains mentally fry collectively in unison, yeah, it would be the summer of 2024. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, all the necessary causes are in effect at the same time. You know, you got a bunch of radiation, you got our minds are filled with noise. That's why turning inwards to art is, for me, the main thing that keeps me sane. Like going back to the comic is such a I don't know if healing is the right word, but it's a good place to be. It feels good. It feels like there's no noise, there's no distraction when I'm at the drawing table.
And as bad it may be for us making content, it may be a sign of nature healing. Or have people rejected the craziness of the interwebs to a point, the bad stuff of the interwebs, that they're like, we're going back to our roots, we're going back to focus on human interactions, so we're not on the internet as much? Or it could be because everybody's just that busy and they have to hold down 2 or 3 jobs just to break even to support their families, which is also
meanwhile, companies are like looking for employees, but I see more panhandlers on the side of the road than ever.
Yeah, here too.
It's like, I know someone who can barely walk who goes to work faithfully every day, and there's this guy on the side of the road holding up a sign, need food, and this guy looks like he could kick my butt in a fight. It's like, clearly you can be doing something. If you could stand there in the sweltering heat on the corner holding up a sign all day long, then go down the insurance company so you can hold up their logo and get paid for it or something, I see like there's a Liberty Mutual place I drive by every day when I'm doing my deliveries, and there's this guy out there wearing a Statue of Liberty outfit holding up a sign, kind of dancing around. It's like, people are looking for employees. If you're standing there all day long, why don't you get paid for standing somewhere?
I'll say this: it depends where you are, because where I'm at, they're not looking for employees. I'm basically part-time editing. When usually I do part-time editing and I get some side gig. All the side gigs dried up. There's none of that out here anymore, unless you have like if you're coming at it as a new employee straight out of high school, no experience, you're not going to get hired. You need experience if you want to get hired, even for the low-wage jobs now, because
entry level position requires 5 years experience.
Yeah,
kind of. Yeah, it's like a lot of places now, because there is competition for jobs, even the low-wage ones, depending on where you are.
Yeah, and at the same time, people don't want to work; they want to become YouTube stars and make money.
You have to work while building up a YouTube channel, because we're all doing that.
Well, here, I got a great story for you about how screwed up the whole world is at the moment. Hello, look, no, I'm not referring to him as why we're all screwed up. I mean,
no, he's just the driver for when the screwed up people have to go around.
No, I got to tell the story very quickly. So, there is a federal agency, I'm trying to be vague intentionally, that is looking to fill almost all of their positions at their local office near me. They're pleading that they need people to be hired to do all these very basic jobs. So I actually put my application in, but I go on the interwebs, because since it's a federal agency hiring, you can't just walk in and have a normal face-to-face interview to judge their character. You got to go through their website, their idiot tests, as I call them. And guess what? The job that they're claiming they're hiring for is not posted on the website. It's nowhere. So what are you supposed to do? Now, here's the best part.
Was that like their version of a loss leader?
So I know somebody who is employed by this federal agency who has told me that, hey, they're desperate for people to work at this place, but it's not available on the website, and the only way to get hired is by posting a job on their website. Well, now the Office of the Federal Agency in Danger is basically declaring war on all the other federal agency offices and telling their staff they must come and fill the void and work like from 2 a.m. through 7 a.m. and then go to their actual jobs at the other offices that don't have a problem. Now, how about that for effed up?
You're referring to usajobs.com as the website?
No, actually not. But it's similar.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, if I were to guess, with my many years,
I've experienced USA Jobs as well.
is that they need the position to be filled, but like that requires HR to do a whole process. We've had a position that took well over a year just to get posted, and it was a position that was critical.
Because God forbid you actually interview a human being face to face and get a feel for their personality, if they're good or not good for the job. No, the computer is going to resolve it.
Well, I mean, it does go to, or typically it depends on the agency. It usually goes to the HR, but there's also a whole thing like a tier system that you get rated upon applying for federal jobs. If you're a veteran, that gets you some points. Disabled vet gets you more points. You can get points for being married to a active duty serviceman or something like that. And then if you don't have any of the points, it's basically you will be the last resume that they look at.
And that's fair, but they should be filling this position if it's an urgent matter. Instead, they have the head of this dire need federal agency's office basically threatening all the other pools of the other offices and telling them, you're going to come here and work at the crack of dawn for us to fill this void before you can go to your regular job. That's the problem that's completely messed up.
They shouldn't have the authority to do that unless they got to deal with the bigwig, and the bigwig just wants to play nice, and he's just like, yeah, sure, you can use and abuse my people. That happens. Yeah. No, I mean, government jobs taking time to get filled is so common. It's just like, we had a guy that he was getting out as a sergeant, disabled as well, and the general, the 1-star, was just like, yeah, I want this guy to fill that position. So it was like a shoo-in and everything like that. Oh, I'm sorry, he wasn't disabled. If you're disabled, you can actually get direct hired, which you're a golden boy if that happens. Essentially it took, I think, 9 months for him to get actually onboarded, and that was the general of the unit being like, I want this guy. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, if you're disabled, that's why when they receive disabled vets, they get so happy because you can skip the entire process. They can direct hire you within a month.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you fill all our politically correct checkpoints. Merit? What's that?
Damn disabled privilege.
I know, right?
Whenever
Why isn't everybody going to hire me? I got a broken brain.
Yeah. Well, disabled by military standards isn't really exactly always disabled. You can get a high percentage just for having anxiety. They'll have to give you a percentage for that.
Nice.
What if you have anxiety when you don't have a job, but then when you get hired, your anxiety goes away? Are you going to get fired for not having anxiety?
You just have to be diagnosed general anxiety disorder.
Okay.
Yeah. But you could just say I'm stressed out to a psychiatrist, and then they're like, okay, you have general anxiety disorder.
But speaking of the focus thing, I think a lot of people are having that issue, but I have noticed when I sit down to start writing, working on a story or editing a video, I glance up at the clock. I'm like, where'd the day go? It's all gone. It's it just.
Yeah.
So I mean, I still do get that
Hyperfixation.
Yeah, it's when I start working on making something, the focus comes in full blown.
Yeah, I find if I'm working on the computer, there's way more distractions, like notifications all over the place. That's why I bought a nice yellow pad that I could try to write on totally offline with. And thank goodness I'm drawing on the drawing table. That takes away a lot of the distractions too.
I saw something earlier. I thought it was kind of a cool thing. I don't know if it's worth it or not. It's just a commercial I saw once. Let me see if I can't remember what it was called. I got to look up what it was here. I saved it because I want to check it out and see if it's worth going for.
Wouldn't happen to be
And of course,
remarkable.
it didn't. Yeah, figures. It was a YouTube commercial. I thought I saved the web page and it's closed out.
Was it
I
the
can't-
remarkable?
Yes, that's it.
My
I
wife
thought that
has
was.
one.
Is that worth it?
She absolutely loves it. She got it when it was actually a Kickstarter campaign. I think you do have to pay for, like, if you want the cloud option. Like, yeah, there's like a annual or monthly fee. And she has that for free for life, which is awesome.
Oh, cool. Because I guess the whole thing is you could just sit there and it feels
Like
very
paper.
similar to writing on actual paper. And then you hit a button and it converts it all to typeset.
Mhm.
And then you can email it out from there. But it doesn't have anything else. So you don't have all the notifications popping up left, right.
Yeah.
How
It's
does
a
that
bit
work
pricey.
for Doodles, by the way?
I don't know. She does like a lot of notes. Like when she was doing wedding planning, like she used that for her business, and everywhere she went, she'd get compliments on it. But she loved the thing. And
Yeah.
like I've
It
used it for a
looked
little
interesting. It caught my attention. Most YouTube commercials do not.
Yeah.
But every now and then, one's like, oh, I got to take a closer look at that.
Yeah.
But I also got to be careful. Just because it looks cool on the commercial doesn't mean it really is. So I'm
What's
glad
it
I
called
get to
again?
talk
Can you
about
see
that.
the name of it?
Remarkable.
Yeah, I'll bring it up on screen.
So REMARKABLE, I
Right,
believe.
right.
So Wrangler, you're gonna be on the seas tomorrow, right?
What's that?
You're gonna be on the seas tomorrow, right?
I am.
Are you not?
I did not
somebody
know
asked you.
this.
Oh.
Now you are, I guess.
This is the first time
Somebody said
hearing
they
about it.
asked you because, like, well, we asked BA if he wanted to come on, to try to like patch things up with all the drama, and he ignored me, which is fine.
Hey,
And then somebody-
Little more time between that and
yeah,
you guys could probably get it. Just give it some time.
we'll see.
I'm being hopeful. But, speaking of time, what time Eastern does it start again?
9:30.
9:30.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, somebody mentioned you, and we're like, yeah, cool. Ask them. I thought, like, I don't know who it was that said that they were talking to you. I don't know.
Yeah, somebody mentioned in one. I commented on one of your video segments. And I
Oh.
think Evele said, "Look forward to having you on the seas." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Let me know when." And
All right,
nobody
I guess
told.
I was-
I didn't know that was tomorrow.
It's always the
We
same
can do
day,
it.
same time. No, we're struggling with like we keep on mentioning we need to get like somebody to do like keep notes and booking and stuff. Like we're such a mess, because we got so much shit going on. Yeah, 300 is the movie.
I love that movie. That's such a good movie.
You guys ever see Epic Rap Battles of History?
Yeah.
Leonidas versus Master Chief.
Probably like back like years ago when it first came out.
Okay, replace your notebooks and print out with a digital device paper that feels just like writing on paper. This thing looks pretty cool. But glad I get to actually talk to you about it because you've actually seen it,
Yeah.
and even looking into it on a website, you could still make something look awesome until you actually have it.
Yeah. No, it is as it's advertised. Like it feels like paper. It's super convenient with organizing your notes and stuff like that. I remember writing some things and having it converted to text, and that worked pretty well. But I like me writing is like terrible, so it's not for me.
All right, do I have that centered on the screen properly? Yeah, let's just check out their little their 1 minute pitch here.
When was the last time you were truly focused? When all the noise and distraction faded away, and a single task has your full undivided attention? And what if you could just switch it on whenever you wanted?
Oh, battery lasts for like ever.
Meet Remarkable, the paper tablet. A digital notebook with the feel of paper, designed for tasks that demand focus. Take notes, draft, refine, and organize without distractions or interruptions. So you can work with deep focus and make meaningful breakthroughs. Create and curate your own setup with virtually unlimited space for all your notes, documents, and texts, and easily find what you're looking for, with everything all in one place. Start out with the tactile feel of freehand, as millions of ink particles respond with instant precision, and follow your ideas further with the flow of the all-new Typefolio. Comfortable, focused typing in a breathtakingly slim profile. Experience an entirely new way to draft your next chapter, ace your presentation, or develop your big idea, all without interruptions. With Remarkable, everything you loved about paper has arrived in the digital age, all in one system. Capture, update, and organize your thoughts whenever inspiration strikes. Share your ideas live, visualize, and bring your colleagues into the conversation. Add your thoughts without barriers and move forward with a simple tap. Make meaningful breakthroughs with Remarkable, the only digital notebook designed to help you focus. No distractions, just you and your thoughts.
Okay.
You could totally install Doom on that thing.
That's what we're all really going to do with it.
Yeah. King Bob says, I love the concept, but it serves no real purpose for me.
Yeah.
But for those of us that do writing and want to jot down an idea for something we have on the run, I could see that being very useful if it's cost efficient.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit pricey. I mean, not like unreasonably so, but like still, like you gotta have spare cash for something like that. I'd recommend it though.
I'm scrolling through looking for prices, but I probably have to go to the buy now to see it, don't I?
Hey, buddy, how expensive is the Remarkable?
Whoa!
Bucks. Yeah. That's you can see the little one came through the bus.
I found the price.
Thank you, bud. She brought me water.
I think my pad of paper cost me about $1.
Yeah, suddenly it doesn't look. I mean, it looks awesome, but not quite that awesome with my budget.
Yeah.
Herman the Hedge says, I'm sure Moorcock used it a lot. Oh,
Yeah,
it looks
like I
like
said,
an
you
awesome
gotta have the
device
money.
to have if you got the capital to handle it. Then yeah,
I mean, that's the thing. It's not being produced by like a major corporation or something like that. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, the price
And
tag's
that-
gonna be nice.
that's unfortunately like one of the Achilles heels of us indies is
Mhm.
we don't have. Granted, we don't have the overhead of an entire company like that, but we also don't have the resources, which means things are more expensive for us to produce proportionately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're more flexible. You can do things faster and weirder things that corporations could get away with.
Yeah, you don't get bogged down by the bureaucracy. But I mean, for example, an indie comic, you go to purchase an indie comic, you pay for the comic, you pay for the shipping. You could spend anywhere between $30 to $50 for an issue, where you go to buy one off the newsstand, it's I don't know what they are now. They're probably a lot more. Last time I bought a comic off the newsstand, it was like $1.75, and when it hit $2, I was like, yeah, I'm done.
In Canadian, I'm buying them now at $7. When I go buy a comic in the stand, it's $7
Oh, wow.
Canadian.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I wish there was an easier way. Like, I don't know. I wish the stores just were more like accepting or something of indies. To have like something you'd be like, hey, if you want yours on our shelf, like put it here. But then they'd probably be overfloated.
My local store is like really welcoming. They'll host my books when they're ready. Like, but you know,
That's something I still
I guess
need
I
to
didn't
do.
mean accepting. I guess like having some sort of avenue to allow it like to be easier. I guess.
I mean, you need a certain filter as well because
Yeah.
you don't want to inundate it. Because
There's
that's
always
how.
something to buy.
Those are great. I have those all over the place.
The wonders of Dollar General.
Actually, I might have gotten these at like Walmart or something. I don't know.
Ooh.
No, wait. When was the last time I was at a Walmart? I don't know where I got them from. Holy crap! You're right. It was Dollar General.
Yeah, I know, because that's where I buy mine.
Christy's joined us. How's it going, Christy? Oh, and she was kind enough to spoil me with. She got me some Frequency Studio pens.
Ooh, damn, dog. That's so
You're
Actually,
official
she got me
now.
two kinds.
sweet looking pens.
First, she hands me the black ones. I'm like, oh, cool. And then she comes out with the green ones. I'm like, that's my favorite color. No fair.
nice.
Now you need a reason to write with the pen.
I think you
Well,
can
I-
install
I
Doom
guess
on
when
those.
they're right on.
There you go.
Install Doom. Yeah, that'd be great. The remarkable if you could like install like a Flash game on there or something like that.
I've seen the people do it with a digital pregnancy stick. They installed Doom on it. I mean, it's not playable, but
Yeah.
just insane.
Doom can go on everything.
It's clear now.
If it has a screen, it will play Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look up at the GPS screen on your windshield and somebody's blasting away zombies. It's like, I need to know where to turn. Turn left and kill the pinky.
I mean, we have our network engineers today because of games like Doom. You know, it's like people coming together doing LAN parties
Yeah.
and learning this stuff.
Yeah, and just to think, the last time I played Doom was around when it first came out, and I played it on a PC. Now it's got so much more. How many Doom versions of Doom have come out on how many different platforms? And there's all this lore to it that I know nothing about.
Not that many. There could be more. For how old the series is.
What was the other one? I think I played it more than Doom. Heretic. Heretic was another one. It was a first-person shooter, but it had a mystical. Instead of being sci-fi, it was all wizardry and stuff.
I played Hexen back in the day on the old N64.
Hexen?
Hexen. It was almost like a Diablo-esque game, except in first person and with N64 graphics. And I say it's more like Doom. Doom meets Diablo, N64. It was pretty fun. I only remember one level of it, but I enjoyed it.
I think I played Punisher on the NES, and it was, or was it the Super NES? But it was like the Duke Nukem. It's like your character standing there. You see his at the center.
The worlds are moving.
And it's pretty much it's just self-scrolling, and you're shooting things as they pop up. So it's not exactly first person. It's like first person behind the shoulder. You're throwing grenades and shooting.
Oh, that's like Operation Wolf on the arcade, like a long time ago. It just side scrolls automatically, and you have an
And your
Uzi.
character's just in the middle. And and when you move the thing, I think you have like a reticule that moves around the screen for your aiming.
Yeah, you can aim with the mouse on the computer, and the arcade was the best. You could hold an actual physical Uzi. You had the trigger on there, and you had like a button on the side to throw grenades.
Now, who remembers Area 51 at the arcade? I'm sure you all do.
I don't.
I do. That was at my
Arcade.
local theater, and man, I kicked all kinds of ass in that game. And this is a not so well known secret, but the game Area 51 that was released on the Xbox, I believe, in the early 2000s, is a direct sequel to the arcade Area 51 game.
Oh, no
And
kidding.
Oh, I remember.
And I didn't-
now. Yeah.
I did not find that out until like a decade after.
I didn't
But,
know there was one on Xbox because I never had an Xbox.
Yeah, the old black Xbox back in the day. But I will never forget Area 51. I can still think of all the sound effects, and it had one of the coolest death scenes at the time with your character transforming into an alien right in front of you. I was like, yeah.
I feel like that game was. a huge
After I
movie
just
scene.
said I never owned an Xbox, and here I am holding an Xbox.
And
Actually, I bought this off a friend of mine because he was going to go pawn it. And so I bought it from him instead because I figured he'd either want to buy it back or I would just get into gaming with him. I ended up plugging it into my TV and used it for nothing but YouTube.
Fair enough.
I don't even have a controller for it. So it's pretty much a giant paperweight in my drawer, unfortunately. But I used to go in the arcade, drop some quarters, pull up the pistol, and start firing at the screen. And I was like, yeah, no one else is in here right now. Why not? I feel like being a cowboy. I drop in double the quarters, pull up both pistols, and just start going. Pew, 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 pew. Of course, double the enemies come on the screen when you do that, so I got my butt kicked.
I bet it was worth it.
It was. It was such dumb fun, and I kept doing it over and over again. Then when I was doing security at a place where there was an arcade, and I was friends with the guy who ran the arcade, I would come in, he'd unlock the cabinet, and so I didn't have to keep dropping. I could just play, or he would give me a whole bunch of tokens, say, "Have at it." That's when I started playing. Weirdest video game I got addicted to was Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah, that'll keep you on your toes.
Literally. But it was kind of like the arcade version of the Nintendo. Remember on the NES, they had the big game pad that you rolled out on the floor, you plugged in, it had the sensors.
Yes,
So you play track and field, you're sitting there running in place trying to get your guy to go faster.
that never worked. Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
I got down on my hands and knees and started doing that over the sensors.
Of course.
Of course, you did. Completely unnecessary.
Everybody did because it didn't work. You had to use your hands to get enough speed to be able to get the
Everyone
game
tried
going.
to jerk off their game system.
Well, yeah,
Kirsty says her favorites were Asteroids, Mortal Kombat, and Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal I used to play at a friend's house on their PlayStation.
yeah, that was
Asteroids
cool.
I played at the arcade and had on the Atari 2600. Mortal Kombat, I played it. I never liked it.
Really not a Mortal Kombat guy.
Yeah. Street Fighter I loved. Mortal Kombat, I was like, eh.
I was
Those
into the
time
fighters
prices.
back in the day.
Hold on. What
Mortal
console-
Kombat was good. I love Twisted Metal. I got actually Twisted Metal on a modified SSD hard drive that is made to look like a cartridge. Let me go find that.
I want to know, Wrangler, what version of what console did you play Mortal Kombat on?
It was at the arcade.
Okay.
I don't think I ever owned a home copy because did they have it on Nintendo? I don't even know.
Yeah, they
I
had it
never
on
had PlayStation. I never.
SNES and Genesis. So it was the 32 bits.
It was on the Super Nintendo.
Yes, it was, but they didn't have blood on it. The only Genesis had blood. And
I
the
don't-
And the
Oh
right
wait, I did
fatality.
have a Genesis,
Yeah.
but I don't think I ever had Mortal Kombat. I just never got into that because, like, I first played Street Fighter and I loved how the controller movements matched the character movements, and then in Mortal Kombat, it's like everything was a secret code you had to punch in to do a move,
Yeah.
and not to mention the the graphics, they were trying, with the filming people and converting it to pixel, trying to make it look
That's
realistic.
what created the video games rating system. And while we're on that topic, I have pretty much most of the video games we're talking about. The old school ones are on here. This is actually an SSD with a cartridge shell, and it goes into this little slot right here, and you just connect it to your PC. It's got like a basic external hard drive right there.
Huh.
This is where I keep all my. This is where I keep all my video games. They're all right here
That's dope.
with all the emulators and everything too. So that's real fun to have.
That's awesome.
10 out of 10 setup right there.
Yeah, anybody play Time Crisis? That was my arcade
Yes, dude.
In
Time
the
Crisis
arcade, yeah.
classic. I know
Nice.
one place that still has most of the old '90s games in it, but that place is like run down as hell because that's the only way you're gonna have all those old school ones in it. But you have Time Crisis. You have like 3 different X-Men games in there from back in the day. The old Simpsons games.
Oh, dude, the double screen X-Men game. I
Yeah,
always
Yeah.
wanted to play that, but I could never.
They also had an Avengers one, right? With
Probably.
Captain America and all them.
Uh,
Bad voice
X-Men was
acting.
the famous one though, and Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles.
Anybody remember the arcade version of Alien versus Predator?
Oh yeah,
It was
Those were good.
both shoot 'em and beat 'em up at the same
Yeah.
time, and I loved it.
yeah, because you had 2 Predator characters you could play and 2 human characters.
I usually played the chick character because she was getting the job done and she was just better to look at.
I played the guy with the Predator with the bow staff. That was my play.
Yeah, I did give all the characters a shot, but I ended up sticking with that chick character. Just all right. I probably play a lot of chick characters because I'm a Metroid nut. So it's like
Yeah.
Samus is the first lady of gaming, after all.
Yep.
Like in what was it, Marvel versus Street Fighter? I would usually play Psylocke.
Marvel vs. Capcom, or
Didn't
was it
they
Marvel
do?
versus Street Fighter?
I don't know. They first started off with, with X-Men, and and Akuma was in there as a hidden character, and fans loved it so much they ended up doing X-Men versus Street Fighter, and then they did Marvel superheroes. That's what I'm thinking of, not X-Men versus not Marvel versus Street Fighter, Marvel superheroes, and then they mixed it all with Marvel versus Capcom. That's actually, that's coming out sometime. I think was it later this year or early next year? Which surprised everybody because ever since Disney got a hold of Marvel, Capcom and them had trouble with their Marvel Capcom series.
Yeah.
But apparently they got something figured out because they are coming out with a collection of all the Marvel versus Capcom games. Including the ones with the X-Men, because the latest Marvel vs. Capcom, what was it called? Infinite, I think. There were like no X-Men in there because they were still butthurt over Fox owning the X-Men at the time, and Capcom's like, but that's half this brand's. The Marvel vs. Capcom brand was built off the X-Men. We can't have X-Men characters.
It's like Deadpool 2 all over again.
Oh,
Yeah. But that AVP game was just dumb fun.
I never got to play that one. I don't know why.
My eyes have gotten so bad. Now I can't see what videos I'm looking at without my glasses. Oh, yeah. Now that it no longer matters, I found it. Here we go.
So what do you think? Like off of memory for 300, you got good memories of it, or are you kind of
Whoa.
a little shaky on it?
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful film.
I enjoyed it. I like the artistic style of it. Were they trying to keep it kind of almost comic bookish with their?
Oh yeah.
They kept a very particular color palette.
It almost looks shot for shot the comic. It's beautiful. I think he was trying to do like what do you call it? The other movie he did with what's the name? The comic book
Sin City.
themed. No, Zack Snyder.
Sorry,
He did
sorry.
the Alan Moore
Oh, Batman.
Watchmen. Sorry.
Watchmen. Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Watchmen was very faithful to the comic. I mean, as much as you can. You did switch around a couple of things.
he
Ding, ding,
changed.
ding.
He
Fight!
changed some major stuff from that. But mainly the
Oh, you-
perception of Rorschach.
You're correct. I think
Yeah.
I should specify that I'm thinking mostly visually. I thought he was faithful to the
yeah.
characters and stuff. But you're right. Like focusing on the story, there's major discrepancies.
Yeah. But no, I agree with the 300 thing. You could almost say that the CGI is bad, but it's so stylized that it actually benefits it.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
'cause-
supposed to look a little surreal.
Don't stare at the airbrushed abs, and you'll be fine. You know.
Don't. How are you not supposed to? That's what I'm saying. It's a very homoerotic movie.
I mean, it's men at war. It's like super tribal. It's
Yeah, men usually wear armor to war.
Yeah, but I think again, it's aesthetic. It's not supposed to be historic or faithful to. It's the.
But here's the thing. I
That's it.
thought about this, right? Because I was like, yeah, they do look cool. They look like superheroes. But I'm like, but wouldn't they look cooler with armor on? Like they would look cooler with armor on, right? Like we all like armor. Why are we watching a bunch of like jack dudes, steroided dudes in diapers?
I don't see it that way. I think they
Yeah.
look like gladiators. I
Yeah.
didn't get that impression at all.
I don't
Now
know.
the
I'm
real
having fun with
Spartans
it,
did wear armor, though. They had plenty
Well,
of
yeah,
chest
no doubt.
pieces on. You know,
Yeah.
they didn't want to get stabbed in the gut.
Wow.
But
12
you meant
years ago this was. Holy crap.
Oh, wow.
though. Yeah.
So here we go. That was a touch loud. Sorry, guys. So have you guys seen this before?
No, never.
Probably 12 years ago.
Many, many eons ago.
Obviously, to avoid copyright claims, I'm gonna have to pause periodically, and it still might not work. But here we go.
Who's the hardest? The biggest mistake that you've ever made. I'll toss it like a fried grenade. I'll stop you in the face with my sandals and rage, and tonight we shall rhyme in the shade. You puny fans of fat nerd of computer, jerking up the games, giving themselves first-person shooters. Your armor's hard, but my abs are harder. You're in my hood now, chief. This is Sparta.
The end.
that
The
was
story to
short.
300 is pretty.
No, there's more to it. Otter, just in time to see round 2.
What?
You there, Otter?
I'm here. Can you all hear me?
Oh, we can now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Oh, it
sound
must
like
have been a little bit of lag or something.
yeah.
Squeak, squeak.
Squeak, squeak. What did I miss?
Leonidas kicking Master Chief down a pit.
So, Otter, 300 armor or no armor?
I'm gonna say no armor because power armor's for pussies.
It's not power armor. I'm just saying armor.
All right.
Well,
Well,
I think the point still stands.
all right. Well, let's see what point Master Chief makes.
So fast, Cortana says you're Greek, so why don't you stick these lyrics up your ass? Stick with a monument to my sins. You're the soldier that needs you to be. Ain't no way that you can beat me. Eat my initials, spell MC. While you and your companions were all camping in a canyon, took a camping to your house and killed your queen on plasma cannon. They should have thrown your rhymes over the cliff because they're sickly. You will not enjoy this, but it will be over quickly. I've been better battles with my 6-year-old son. I'll leave firepower when I'm rocking these guns, okay? You sleep in a freezer in outer space. I look you in the eyes with too much of a bitch to show your face. You got a bad case of no shirt there, Fabio Flintstone. Your whole plan got messed up by a hunchback with Down syndrome. 300 asses need a kicking. Get more teabags than Lipton. So watch and quit your bitching. My trigger fingers hit you.
Oh, Leonidas won that one.
Hands down.
Yeah.
The no armor crowd wins again.
Yeah, that's just because Otter likes to look at men's nipples.
I'm sorry, I think you were describing yourself there for a minute, Bat Sauce.
Oh, throwing it right back at me.
I can't
huh?
believe that's 12 years ago now. Wow.
I'm surprised it's only 12 years.
Time is short. Don't waste it because we never know how much time we got.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Hey, I'm drawing as fast as I can, man.
Draw faster.
Faster, damn it, faster.
I was mentioning earlier how even in this world of people with like attention spans of goldfish, especially me, when I sit down and start working on a story, I'll look up at the clock and go, "Where'd the last 3 hours go?"
Yeah, it's a little bit weird for me. I have you could probably call it an ass backward writing schedule where a lot of writers will spend upwards to 2, 3, 4 hours on something. I will keep it to a strict 1 hour, but it's pretty much within the span of that hour I'm trying to get as much done as I possibly can. It's actually a really fun limitation.
That sounds nice. I just can't get much done in an hour. Get like 20 words per hour.
It reminds me of the Pomodoro technique.
Yes,
what?
that one.
It's you guys not familiar with that? It's like a,
No.
a business entrepreneur thing. It's like Pomodoro it's Italian for tomato. It's basically those kitchen clocks. So basically, what you do is instead of wasting half your time during the day, you just do focus blitz where you turn on the clock, you focus, and when it's done, you take a break, you check your email, you do whatever, and then you get back on the clock, and then you do in focused, intense blitz kind of.
That's
Oh,
pretty
is that
much
like the
how-
writing streams that some of us do sometimes? Or?
Yeah, that's how it works. That's how my mind works. Because otherwise I'll just get naturally distracted anyway. So you got to give your brain time for a break.
Yeah. Now I see a lot of folks who they're like, "Yeah, I want to have so many words done in a day. That works great for them." Unfortunately, I don't seem to function well that way. I function more as, okay, I have these thoughts I want to get down. However many words that may be, I don't know, because some things I might just gloss over in the initial draft and go back and turn that one concept into 3 paragraphs, or sometimes I go back and I see 3 paragraphs. I'm like, oh no, I can only do that in one.
Yeah, I try to write 1,000 words a day at least. I don't always hit that goal, but usually I do. Not
I used
always.
to do that, man.
If
Yeah,
it's a
like-
rough day, sometimes you don't hit it. Sometimes you're lucky to get 500.
At some point, things just got messed up at work, and it was just like I went months without writing anything, and I'm like struggling to try to get into any kind of mood to write.
I definitely feel that. For me, it was around the end of last year where it was right after releasing my book. I tried to get back into writing just something, even short stories, and it was a struggle.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of the stories I'd basically finished, but I still don't like them very much. They've just kind of been sitting off to the side.
Part of it's like the amount of projects I have, and it's like wanting to dedicate headspace to like anything. Like now that I'm like trying to ramp up YouTube and RCs and stuff like that, it's just like, okay, that's one more thing to keep my head on.
Yeah.
It's just like, trying to get the cover and my last book, I'm just trying to get it published, for fucking ever. And there's just so many, literally, it's been over a year I've been trying to get it published.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened. So
Yeah, YouTube is a job in and of itself. Like that's why I'm staying away from making videos outside of this one stream per week.
yeah,
I'm focusing on the comic book, at least until it gets out.
Speaking of videos, the reason he has his broadcast live, or I should say he has my screen up, is because this is actually an AI video where I took one of the characters from my intellectual property and I fed it the image, and this is what it produced.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
I love the weapon, man. What do you call that?
Oh, artificial intelligence grows up so fast. I'm scared.
Why
This is
does
great,
this
though.
remind me of Magicka in a way?
Kind of does, doesn't it? It's probably the spear. Oh,
I
and
mean-
the hood, the faceless hood.
Now I'm just waiting for him to speak in a stereotyped Swedish accent.
No,
Right,
he has Cartman's voice.
There you go.
Hey guys, how's it going?
You know, if he walks up and starts talking and you hear Rick Moranis' voice,
That'd be hilarious.
who brought the dog?
An ultra powerful Rick Moranis.
I mean, he was
Level
powerful at
9,000.
baseball.
I think he'd be hilarious as like a space marine from 40K. Just takes off the helmet. Oh, hey guys, I just heard you guys need a little backup down here. Thought I'd hang out for a bit. I got my chain sword.
A chainsaw sword. There you go.
Yeah.
That probably look really cool, but be borderline useless.
I don't know.
compared to-
Well, you know, if you're a space marine,
No. I got a chainsaw claymore in my sci-fi book.
a chainsaw claymore.
Absolutely.
Okay, I
Just
was
full
thinking
start.
the explosive.
It's got the ripcord on there.
No, it's got like a trigger. I don't know. It's the future. We don't use pulley start things in the future.
I suppose.
By the way, when starting your cars, when you go to the grill and crank the starter with that handle, watch out. When it snaps back, it could break your wrist.
Yep.
I wish they still had those manual overrides for when the electronics died. Like, maybe not the crank start. I know how outdated that is, but a manual hand crank. Like if the motor in your electric window goes kaput, I wish there was a thing you could like flip the hand crank out of the wall, disengages it from the motor, and you could just.
Yeah, how would the
Like
dealership make money though?
I don't care about that. They already make enough money just selling the unit. They
No,
make
I
a hell of a
know,
lot
I
more
know.
money fixing things that don't need to be fixed.
They don't care about you having ease of repair.
There is a lot of unfortunate truth to that. For example, my dad did construction for years, and somebody from the tool company would sometimes come around to his job site with some new products that weren't yet on the market. They showed up with some razor blades, say, hey, this is a new type of tech for the razor blades. They look like regular razor blades, but give them a shot. We want to know how they work out. The guy came back 2 weeks later, and we're like, when can we get more of these? These are awesome. The sheet rockers, they've been going for the last 2 weeks on a single blade. And the guy got all bummed, and he's like, what? He goes, these are never going to market. He's like, why? He goes, we put these out, we'll go broke. People will buy them, and we're not going to buy them again. And we don't sell anything, so we're not going to do it.
Wow.
So yes, it exists. Razor blades that you can use to cut sheetrock go almost 2 weeks on a single blade. That level of tech and engineering exists, and they won't do it because they sell it. They're not going to keep reselling and reselling, so they'll lose money by doing it right. You know. Economics, double-edged sword.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. But all right, I think I'm gonna sign off. Get the kids.
All
to
right. Well,
sleep,
thanks
so-
for stepping in, man. It was good to see you.
Thanks for having
So
me.
tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern.
Yep. You better be on my team whenever you hear my opinion on 300. You better be Team Bat Sauce.
No, I'm going to be on the same side I'm always on. Mine.
All right, later, guys.
Ripping off a quote from Steve Austin there. But
And there goes butt sauce.
I don't have an applause thing, Gummer.
Who was that masked man?
That, good sir.
Who was that
was
bottled
butt sauce.
butt?
I had to pull something out of my butthole, and that was the best I could come up with.
That sauce origin story.
That is
Could be come up with.
What do you call that staff, James? Do you have a name for it, that weapon, or is it just visual idea?
That's his boomstick.
I don't have an official name for it, so I was quite impressed with it.
You have to have a cool name for that thing, man. It's like, it's such a good weapon.
Spear.
Where did you get that thing?
China.
Yeah, man.
I'll-
Everything's
I'll-
made in China.
I'll keep that in mind when it's time to bring the lore down on the spear. Give it a badass name.
What's the China of Star Wars? Coruscant, right? Everything's made in Coruscant. Is that how it goes?
I don't know.
I
really don't know.
think Coruscant's just a giant city planet. I don't know how their production works. Maybe that's where I think that's like the Washington, really, the Washington of Star Wars.
I thought that was San Francisco. Yeah, I'm looking at San Francisco. I'm going Starfleet headquarters. This is not.
No. I've never been.
King
but-
Bob says no. It's more akin to DC. Oh, by the way, I mentioned I wanted to bring up a project at top of the hour. It's well past top of the hour, but we can do this anyway. So. I was watching a live stream from Telepathic Bunny. Check out his channel. And he was interviewing someone. It was Frost Comics. And these are Tales to Inspire. And it's supposed to be good old-fashioned style comic book stories where the characters are inspirational. So I'm not sure exactly when it's launched. It's launching soon. But we can go check out the creator's page. And he's got a bunch of stuff here. He's got one called Rebound. Cayman American Volume 9. Okay, they've been going at it a while. So there's a whole bunch of stuff from under this guy's banner that I didn't know existed. I thought it'd be worth just taking a quick peruse through here. Animal Woman Season 1. Kevin Terry is 5-star.
Thought I saw
New
Common
Cyber-
America there for a second.
What's that?
Common America. I've heard more than a few things about that. Yeah, Common America.
What is that?
So it's the impression I get from it is it's kind of like a mix between Captain America and My Hero Academia, but the main character is a fashionista, hence her attractive looks. So it's meant to be kind of like a parody a little bit, but it's also meant to be like genuinely hopeful and everything as well.
Okay.
So the
pretty good
second
things
saga
about it.
comes to a climatic conclusion as a Cayman corpse must counter a calamitous contrivance by their foes, the Zenerangers.
No idea.
Zenerangers? I'm not sure how to. Well,
I think her best friend is Florida Girl.
well let's check
Not
this out.
even kidding.
Of course.
But it's got a good funding so far. 150.
I hit play and the whole. Okay, where did it go?
It's got
There
a
we
pretty
go.
big fan following.
Looks
Yeah,
he's
I
been
had
at
never
it-
heard of any of this.
Common
Yes.
America?
Yeah.
Well, it's been around for a little while.
Volume 8.
It'd be nice if it actually. I wonder if
So-
my browser's not playing well with it. Because it says it should be playing and it's not.
Oof.
It reminds me in high school when I was trying to take a picture and there was the lid on the lens still.
Yes, welcome to the stream. Today- Look,
All
look
we
at
need
this
to
awesome
do-
visual we got going.
All we need to do is just hang a little out of order sign on the play button.
Wow, seriously.
So I
Look
think
at
my
all-
browser's just not playing well with it. 'Cause unfortunately, I do like Brave, but it seems to like go tilt on some things. And it might be the internal ad blocker that's messing it up. I don't know.
Can you whitelist some stuff?
What does that mean?
Can you turn off the ad blocker for a specific page?
I don't even know how I turned it on, let alone how to turn it off.
I haven't played with Brave in a long time.
Yeah. But Fu says it looks retro. You can dig it. King Bob said, I've heard of it somewhere, probably one of you guys. And Christy is laughing at me.
Yeah, I don't hate the art style, and it looks like very different from what we see all the time. So it's got a unique twist to it. It looks decent. I would give it a chance.
I've heard it's pretty good.
Looks very anime inspired.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, well, I was talking about the first one you showed, but yeah, this one looks like an anime. It's or manga. This is like a American draw manga, I would imagine. The common stuff, common America.
Yeah, from what I know, it's American drawn manga, and like you see a lot of projects like this, especially in the indie space. But this seems to be one of the ones where there's quite a bit of production value behind it.
Okay, I got to stay on that tab for it to keep going. I can't hit play, but if I hover the mouse over it, we at least get the video to play without sound.
Nope, the preview works, but not the actual video. That's cool. Looks fun. Looks lively.
That guy looks lively.
Well, maybe
that guy looked like he was
Half-Life.
hurting.
Did I hear Half-Life?
Dude, that animation towards the end
No,
felt
totally.
like video.
No way. Did you not?
Felt totally video game.
Gordon Freeman.
That's well-made video for sure.
King Bob says, click the picture of the line in the right of the search bar to turn off the ad block.
There you go.
I want to do that.
And if you look to your top right, you'll see some samurai stormtroopers.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I mean, we're going to have movies done in AI very shortly.
Probably. Who knows? I'm sure Hollywood being Hollywood, they're gonna be like, oh, it's AI, it can do anything.
Yeah.
So it's gonna fix everything, and everything.
By fix, it'll fail spectacularly.
Yeah, they show nothing any respect whatsoever. You got to remember, the Lord of the Rings show, whatever it's called, I don't care. It had practical effects, and they sucked. Okay, so that's Hollywood.
Yeah.
It didn't. I tried it, King Bob, and it didn't allow it to play.
I got about 8 or 9 of my images AI'd, and I'm thinking of just turning them into like GIFs, but putting them in like a card in a card frame, make it look like one of those Harry Potter pictures. But trading cards.
That's cool.
It's Cobra's desert unit.
Kind of. These guys are part of a. There's a lot in my world. There's a lot of different private militaries, and theirs is kind of based off of old school Britain from like the 1800s, shit. Mixed with obviously a bit of a futuristic look going on.
Now are those hermetically sealed and they have their own rebreathers built in, or?
Yeah, some of them do, but they're detachable. The rebreather's kind of attached to the mouthpiece, and that's where they are underneath it. But a lot of it's detachable.
He looks like
if they get caught in a wicked dust storm, they're still okay.
Yes, they kind of have what do you call it? Almost like built-in goggles that can come down and cover the eyes. The first guy there, you see his goggles are down, so he's looking through more of a peephole mirror. With the other guy there, his goggles are up.
Cool. Yeah, when Google first announced Gemini and they're talking about how you could do all this stuff and you could just
Gemini's
make video.
horseshit.
Yeah, my dad saw it on the news and he came to me and goes, "Hey, you can make that video game now. This program will do it for you." I still have not used an AI program yet. Not because I'm averse to it. I just haven't done it.
I know they're Google's AI, the one that I think is called Sora. People are like creaming about. Like the reason you don't see too much coming from them is because theirs probably sucks, and 1 out of every 500 images looks kind of okay for about 3 seconds. These I used Runway to make these, and the only reason it looks good is because it had a photo to reference. If it made it from scratch, it'll most likely look pretty shitty. It does way better off of referencing, and even then, I maybe out of 20 generations, 7 of them will be decent, depending on the complexity of the image. This one's pretty easy because they're just kind of looking around. Some of them, if you try to get some motion going on, like walking, it'll just it won't look too good. It'll look synthetic. So it's got a long way to go, and
But,
I don't believe Google's got a good AI. There's a reason why.
Just looking at those, like if you showed me that as a sample to, hey, I want you to draw these characters, that's a really badass sample, man. You really get the feel for what they look like, and they do look a little bit skinny there, though, under the armor. Like they're not beefy Warhammer types. They're kind of like ordinary dudes inside those.
Yeah.
armor there.
Don't have too much Warhammer types in my world. You don't get the guys that are like 4 people in one. No Hulks.
You don't have a whole bunch of Arnold Schwarzeneggers?
Afraid not. Afraid not.
How about a Lou Ferrigno or two?
No Lou Ferrigno. Yeah, I'm sure some militaries.
Dude, I mean, they could totally AI more Hulk episodes with Lou Ferrigno in it.
That's true. And I guarantee you the fans will probably do it one day.
That's almost inevitable.
Where
Yeah,
there's a fan, there's a way.
Yeah, AI is going to be the new Rule 34.
But I think of like watching Star Trek, how they would go up and say, "Computer," and they're in the holodeck. Make this character, generate this, do that, and it just pops up, and everyone's watching, going, "Oh, cool! Someday it'd be so cool if computers can do that." Now we have computers actually trying to do that, and everybody's bitching about it.
Well, humans are going to be human, right?
Yeah, good point.
Like here, it's cold almost all of the year. It's cold, and then it's hot 2 weeks. People complain when it's hot instantly. It's like, come on, guys.
Hey, throughout this entire smeltering summer, I'd say, yeah, it's hot, but I wouldn't complain about it much because I know at some point I'm going to have to shovel snow, and I despise that.
Oh, dude.
Utterly despise it. I'll take the heat.
I'm a fall winter person over summer. Even though I prefer doing stuff outdoors, but man, humidity, I just don't reach a point with me. Nah. Humidity bad.
You think you can take the heat? I was born in the heat, molded by it.
Of course.
Christy says she loves the cold. Yes, I know you are a polar bear. And King Bob says, it's not you. The video is failing to load.
Anything underneath 73 degrees is cold.
Yeah. She has pictures of herself with feet in the snow. I am not surprised.
I used to live in a place where it would snow. Then Florida just kind of like beat that out of me. The heat, it happens.
Yeah, I know people who grew up here in New England, went out to California for a few years, came back here and just could not readapt to the winter. It is much easier to adapt to the warmer weather than it is to adapt to the colder weather.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Depending
know
where
about
you
that.
are, I'll be wholly honest, man. Like if you go to some of those humid areas, no thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree.
I live in it, so
It's easier to put on a sweater than take off your skin when you're smoldering.
Exactly. See, this man
Yeah.
gets it.
That's
Yeah.
a good analogy.
well, Readout gets the same kind of humidity I do because you're just a couple states away from me, I think.
Yeah, but it's worse down here. Believe me, it's worse.
Yeah.
It's
Pennsylvania.
And guess what?
It's really
And
not
it-
up there.
Yeah.
We're right at the entrance of the ocean. It comes into the St. Charles River.
Readout, I remember one time I was driving down to Lancaster, so I didn't want to deal with the traffic. I decided to make the trip at night, and I got to the Pennsylvania border in 2 hours, which is like awesome. Unfortunately, it was like 6:50. You ever see the Truman Show when he tried to go over the bridge and all the cars just pulled out of the side streets and came to an immediate traffic jam and stopped them?
Yeah.
That's what it was like. 6:15 hit, and I swear the roads did exactly that. I went from having it all to myself to we were gridlock. It's like,
You tried
what
to
the
leave the
heck?
dome, Wrangler. You tried to leave the dome again.
Oh, but I made it out of that dome. I just had to wait a while. Let's change up the tune.
What tune is this from?
That was Overgrowth from Super Metroid. I'm going back to Chill Kid now.
Yeah.
Try Hard with Do It Yourself is what it's called.
Well, I'm actually going to head out a bit early because I do have work tomorrow. So,
All right.
All
Have a
right,
good
well, thanks for hanging out with us, Readout.
You're
oh, no
literally not-
problem. I just really hope things can settle out on my end. That'd be nice. But guess what? November 5th is fast approaching, and I don't think they're going to settle out anytime soon.
Yeah, it's gonna get crazy.
October this year is going to be bonkers.
Yeah. All right. Well, good night, everybody.
Have a great night, Readout. God bless.
And there he goes.
The man,
There
the myth,
goes
the
Rocky
historian.
A brave young man.
They call him Readout.
I am the
Um,
knight. I am Readout Production.
I'm loving those soldier designs again, James. You got a really good results with your AI source.
Yes, this one. The trick was, and anybody who knows the show will see it immediately when I say it. This was inspired by Gundam,
Oh,
particularly one type of Gundam. I'm not going to say which one. That's for the fans to know,
that's pretty
Is-
dope.
because it's a very common Gundam. That's in the original series.
Have you ever
But-
done a video with AI music as well as AI video? Or-
Yes,
No,
not a
okay.
video, but images. Yes,
Okay, just images, yeah.
Well,
I
you
do
kind-
need to make a video now, though.
You kind of, sort of have. In fact, there's a shameless self plug. I'll play that one that you made right now.
Katie and Elizabeth are back, and this time the Spuds are really going to fly. Who's wild? And this time the Spuds are really going to fly. And Katie's world. Who's wild? And this time the Spuds are really going to fly. Who's world? And this time the Spuds are really going to fly.
Nice. Good trailer. I threw it together. The music's definitely AI, but the images aren't. The images are not AI. They're
Oh,
all
good.
original.
Yes, that was the artwork of Adrian DKC. You can find his stuff on Fiverr. He did both my covers, and I thought he did good job with the first one, and then when he came back with cover for book 2, I was blown away.
Is Adrian the name for Neutron Boar, or are they two different people?
2 different people.
Two different people. Okay.
In fact, I'm going to call up his screen here. It's making me have to sign in again. Hang on.
Speaking of Neutron Boar, I'm finally getting to that point where I'm starting to commission artwork for the second book, and that's pretty exciting, I have to say.
Nice.
I think Neutron Boar is, I'm not sure if he started yet, but he is going to be working on the cover, and as well as some of the illustration work as well. I've also commissioned Corey Barton to do a few pieces. And of course, Frederick, I want to bring you in on the project as well.
I'd love to. Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to see if I can try and get some more artwork from Umbrella Cat. I really love her illustrations and everything.
And we have a art chill stream with Umbrella Cat on Saturday? Next Saturday, right, Otter?
Yeah, it's this coming Saturday.
Yeah. It's on.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Billy Bob Sack's channel, I believe.
Apparently, we're drawing Jism.
Interesting. Live on or preparing drawings to present.
That's a question for Billy. I have no clue.
Okay. Because TikTok time is getting there. And of course, I do an art stream every Tuesday, tomorrow at 8 Eastern Time, with most of these gentlemen here. The only one that's missing is Billy Bobsack.
All right, so here's some of the cover art he's done over the years.
Nice.
Very nice.
That's cool.
I like the little cat at his feet.
It's got this hand-drawn texture to it.
Is it digital?
I believe so, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you can get brushes now that kind of imitate the
He
paint.
said he used a different painting program on the second cover. He was trying it out for the first time, and it came out really good.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I too have been experimenting with the new program, and it's very cool.
Camp, oh no.
I love his book designs, man. The way he integrates the title of the book and frames the picture of the characters and the forest. It's really good design, man.
It's really
it's got
good
good layout.
composition.
He's a little pricey, but he is very worth it. I am so grateful to have found him.
Yeah. I bet he sells extra books. He's worth it, I think.
Science!
Science.
He did the cover for a crossword book. That's awesome. Cool. I've flipped through his gallery before, but my stuff wasn't in there last time. Now it is.
Nice.
I'm happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice one. Very got the runes on the side there. Very Celtic in design.
Yeah, man, they really look like top shelf books.
I like how there's that past one. There was a nice equilibrium between or synergy between the small image and the negative space.
Yeah, and he doesn't keep reusing the same design either. Like he's playing on different effects. Look at the font there with the bow and arrow embedded within the C of the character's
Oh,
name.
yeah, that's a really nice touch.
This dude is a rock star.
The Fiverr stamp is unfortunately placed here. She looks like she had a glass of milk.
Oh, I didn't even see that one. I was looking at the one on her forehead.
Oh well, yeah, there too.
God Fiverr.
Yeah. So after we finish perusing through these, I'm gonna go to his main page and drop the link in the chat. Socialites of Soho. And he's got so many different styles that he does too. Yeah, from cartoony to comic like to serious.
This is where it feels a little closer to your covers with Haley Star. I think it's the faces and the coloring of the hair.
Even the design has that kind of a young adult book kind of feel to it.
It's very saturated and colorful.
Yeah.
I think we cycled through. Yeah. We've come back to the beginning here.
Nice.
All right. Let me go back to his main page. Oops. Okay, I'm hitting wrong buttons, so let me. I'll have the link to drop in the chat in a minute once I get back to the proper page. Let's see, Christina says she's heading out, has a major headache. All right, I hope you feel better, Christy. You have a great night. Yeah, so that's Adrian DKC, and I'm very lucky to have found him for my covers. It struck the tone, I think, perfectly.
Nice.
That's always good to find the appropriate artist. You know, it can be difficult at times. Finding an artist isn't just like, you know, picking up the phone call and going through the phone book.
Okay, I tried to drop the link, but it split it into two things on there. Bummer. So that's probably not going to work with the limited amount it gives me. However, another artist I'd like to shout out. I think you guys might be familiar with him.
Probably. There's a lot of good ones. You know, I think the Iron Age has really created a space for these indie artists to really flex their works. But yeah, that's one. I recognize that guy.
I know that guy.
Who's that guy? Come on.
I hear he's a French Canadian.
Oh, really?
So I added these buttons today. So these are Zap buttons linked to Nostr. So people who have the plugin, which are mostly, you know, people from Nostr, Bitcoiners, they can zap now. They can like hit one of these art pieces and donate a little bit of Bitcoin in the form of a zap. It's pretty cool. Tested it out today. Works well.
I don't know if I can even use that with my setup because I don't have an actual Bitcoin wallet. I just have my Cash App and I have stuff on there. So I don't know if that's compatible with everything, but I'm not spending Bitcoin. when it dips down, I buy some, stash it, I forget about it. you know?
Yeah, you should definitely take it off the exchange though, because if they have any issue, they can. It's not really your Bitcoin until you seize it with your own keys. If you know what I mean.
And I have no idea how to even do that. That's the whole reason I didn't buy Bitcoin sooner. I didn't know how.
Yeah,
I still don't technically know how.
It's gotten really easy nowadays. You can like have an app, you download an app, and they create a wallet by default. And to back up your wallet, you write down your seed words, which are either 12 or 24, depending on the setup. And those words are what give you the key to move your Bitcoin around. So any Bitcoin you send to those addresses can only be moved by someone who has those words. In other words, does that make sense?
Kinda. Maybe at some point, if you got time, we can sit down and go over that. You can tell me what apps are good, what to avoid. Because I've heard of people who've gotten apps, loaded up a bunch of Bitcoin, and got screwed over.
Yeah, for sure. No, I can definitely give you a few pointers. Like even on my stream tomorrow on Tuesdays, I can get into more detail with you on that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, so I'm gonna be at the computer quite a bit tomorrow night then, because we got your art stream, and then after that, surprise to me anyway. I'm on Iron Seas tomorrow night, so.
Oh hell yeah!
That's gonna be fun.
Media tour tomorrow. There's all the shows are on Tuesdays. We've learned that last week.
Yeah, it used to be Tuesdays were the Tuesdays were like a real dry spell as far as streams that I was interested in goes. Now I get home from work, and a half hour later, James starts up with his stream. Then I'll be hopping on with you guys, and after that is Iron. I usually don't catch the Iron Seas because I'm usually going to bed around that time. But worth it. I'll stay up a little late tomorrow, and I'll just be draggy when I get to the Band of Brothers meeting in the morning.
Have a little evening coffee there. Give you a little boost.
Yeah, it's a really fun live stream. I do recommend it.
Yeah, I catch all the clips as much as I can anyway.
It's the best way I can describe being on Iron Seas. It's a very fast and frenetic energy. Everybody's kind of bouncing off of each other with different ideas and jokes, and you're just kind of in the middle of the chaos. It's fun.
But I noticed that Iron Seas actually remains on topic. We're just free flow here on Wing It. We're just making it up as we go along. But it seems like Iron Seas actually has a structural format to it that holds it together and makes it work much smoother, much better. But that's the difference between when you have topics lined up or we come on here and just make it up as we go. So,
can I show you something, Wrangler?
Yeah.
If you scroll up to, I think it's the About page.
Is that what you were working on the other day?
Yeah, exactly. I worked on that during the stream, and I even got some stickers made here.
Ooh, pretty.
So yeah, we got these nice little
prismatic.
Yeah, just added a laser eyes and then the web address there under there.
That's awesome.
It's cool to do these things that come to life after that. I'm working on a little trading card at the moment, which is going to be fun as well.
Okay, I thought this image was going to be your trading card.
No, that was for a sticker. And I might reuse that. I think it's a nice fitting image for top of a screenplay or something I'm going to submit to people, or just on envelopes and stuff. I just think it's a nice kind of first image or representative image of the hero.
There's a lot of character in just this one picture here. I think you can get a lot of personality across just through this.
Like the weasel themed copter there. The quad, what was it? The quad?
Quad board. So calls it quad board and QB for short. So he's always calling it QB. hey QB, and it's like voice to, it's text to speech kind of a computer. So it's kind of like an AI. So the quadcopter talks back and gives reports on his, how his battery's doing and things like that. And it can give you coordinates and interesting information.
Eventually, he'll have a true synthetic intelligence in there. He'll start calling it Kit.
Yeah, something like that. I always thought that was fun, but I thought the buggier it is, the funnier it is as well. So he has like a Linux version that doesn't quite work well. That's always buggy. It's always crashing or giving you the wrong information. I think that's going to be fun.
Damn it, Ubuntu.
Something like that, It's like it works really well for what you need it to do, but the other stuff on the side, not quite right,
James, the only thing missing from this picture is just him like sticking his lip out and blowing up and the hair flipping like I don't want to be here.
This was an interesting one because the image that I used is this side image, that first second you see there. So it had to generate the complete other side of his face without even knowing what it looks like, because as you may know, your face isn't an exact duplicate. Like each side is an exact duplicate of one another. So I was pretty impressed with this one, though. Like I said, there are images that don't look too good, or the motion isn't quite there. Let me load up one. I think I had one right here. It has motion, and as you can see, the motion isn't like 100% there. As in like the kind of like they're walking.
I really like it though. I really like this. It has that dude. It has that 50s sci-fi feel to it. It looks like a painting.
Yes,
but it's moving like a movie.
The only thing that looks off about it is how they're walking when you're comparing it to how the background is zooming out.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Kind of like their animation with the ground.
Yeah. The ground's moving faster than their legs.
Yes. So stuff like that, still working on it. But this is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, actual video AI to be out there. So it's going to be the most advanced because it's getting the more training. The rest of them out there.
Again, the design on the costume looks good. Even the helmet, the square visor seems like overly simple, but it works really well with the paint lines and the kind of mohawk shape on the top. It's good. I like it. You got a nice collar there from loose clothing.
These guys in the lore wise are part of the Ragtag Army, which is the official governmental army that doesn't get as much love as the private armies kind of do, because they obviously are underneath private ownership and they have to be top of the line. Well, these guys are kind of like, these are your military guys. They get they get all the old stuff. Yeah.
So how well does their armor stand up to
Jewish space lasers?
Well, they don't have Jewish space lasers in that world, so who knows?
So they're in the clear.
Wait.
Yeah, they're in the clear.
That is really cool, though.
Yeah.
And even though you pointed out the ground's moving faster than their feet, I would have never noticed that. I don't have that artist eye. I hear people complain about CGI and things, and I'm like, I never noticed, So if I sit there and go, hey, the CGI look crap, it's crappy, because if I noticed it.
Yeah, I mean, it depends where you look. Like if you look at the top left where the guy's helmet is around the clouds, you don't notice the ground difference as much. But if you start looking at the bottom right, then it just starts looking out of place. Yeah.
You get, especially you, James, and you, Frederick, since you stare at these kind of things and think about these things all day, you're going to pick it up like that. Me, I'm too dumb to notice. It's like you put the general idea together and convey the idea. I'm usually happy with it.
I'm impressed. Like even the lighting effect on the bottom left, like you almost have a lens flare with that's colored by the sand. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, I like fooling around with AI technology. For me, it's the tech itself that I think is the most interesting because it's very unlike a lot of tech innovations we've seen over the last several decades, where it relies so much on training from kind of like an actual like long span of time and an artwork that we've made to actually make something that's more accurate. I don't know. I think the actual science behind it is kind of fascinating because it's very unique compared to
Isn't
a lot
it
of
just
people we know.
isn't it just this is why I don't like him calling it AI. And I'm probably oversimplifying it, but I've said it before. It seems like it's just a very big flow chart, and you put in the prompts, which is the information you want this, and it goes through a big flow chart of probabilities and spits them out.
But
There
it's
are-
also a flow chart that can update itself and learn from
it's
mistakes.
self-perpetuating.
I mean, pretty much, I just keep calling it the next step in spell check.
Well, what's interesting about it is that there are probabilities involved, but basically what a lot of generative AI, what you can boil it down to is how our brains work, where we can create patterns out of something where there isn't necessarily one. That feels like what a lot of generative AI is built to do, is to simulate that part of our brains. So you get a lot of images like this, where a lot of images, video, and music, where a lot of the times it doesn't even make coherent sense, but it still kind of like sparks that part of our brain that's looking for patterns.
Yeah, because it is recognizing patterns.
Right. The whole code behind it is made to generalize. It's given a huge mass of data, a massive amount of video, images, what have you. And it's like, all right, try and find a pattern among all of this. And that's what it does.
Oh, we got another.
Very World War One.
I really like the gas masks.
Yes, I kind of well, you know me, I like my diesel punk, so I got a lot of that World War One and World War II inspiration going on throughout most of the militaries. I think got that bit of a World War vibe on them a little bit. I try to plaster some on there. It's where I pull a lot of my definitely military inspiration. That's where a lot of it comes from.
No, they all got those gas masks with the big cylinders on the front. We assume they're human, but they take them off and they all look like Birdo from Super Mario 2.
So I've honestly got a big question about AI. How in video games this is going to compare to procedural generation, whether it's something that could replace it to any degree, or if some hybrid approach might be involved.
It's going to be a hybrid. I mean, there's already one video game engine that's completely revamping itself to introduce AI to essentially if anyone's messed with the video game engine, everything's just right in your screen. Say you circle an area on your screen and you say insert flying birds, and it'll create it'll pull basic 3D models and then it'll make them fly a little bit. And I think the whole shtick is it's trying to replace repetitive code that's kind of easy to write, and that's the only way I see it working. But I don't see it working on the deeper end of things.
The potential I see for it is the big problem a lot of people have with procedural generation is it can feel very copy paste, very generic. Well, the AI can add a lot of little touches to it to subtly change it to make it feel unique. That's where I see the potential going in. And I I think you can also have it tailor what's being made to to how you're actually playing the game. That's where I think AI could really help to improve a lot of what's there.
Almost sounds like the similar concept to like we keep saying like in movies, practical effects with CGI brush ups tend to be the best. When they just allow all CGI, it starts to hit that uncanny valley. But it seems like in practical effects with CGI for augmentation comes out real well. So it seems like
bad CGI.
you want to have a creation of what's that, James?
People don't notice good CGI because they assume it's practical. That's kind of where that comes in. There's really great CGI in a lot of movies, but most people don't even see it because it's just well done.
How is it that Terminator 2 seems to still be the pinnacle of CGI, though?
It's not. There's a lot of movies that have come out that are covered in CGI. Most people don't know because...
Or was it just, it was so new that we were floored by it, so it sticks with us?
Well, that's the one that really messed with a lot of CGIs and turned an entire villain CGI, but there's a lot of scenes that are jam-packed with CGI people don't even notice. Like they say, oh, that's bad CGI, and they see just the absolute tip of the iceberg, not knowing that they're pointing out like 2% of all the CGI that's in the single scene that they're watching. Like if anybody's ever seen the movie Life of Pi, there's a sequence
I saw that.
where, do you remember the scene when he's like on the boat in the middle of the storm and he's yelling his ass off towards the clouds? That was a perfectly clear day and it wasn't even raining and he was in the pool.
Wow.
Everything was CGI, but you couldn't guess that he wasn't in the storm.
The Davy Jones effect still looks amazing in Pirates of the Caribbean.
You know something I noticed, though? Like Brendan Fraser's The Mummy. Imhotep looked awesome in that. And The Mummy 2, he looked like more video game-ish.
And that's not even counting the Scorpion King, where you're going peak Uncanny Valley there. The very pits of the Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Where it's trying to emulate the human face. Like it's you basically got yourself a 3D model of Dwayne Johnson, just half Scorpion, and it looks terrible.
Yeah. And we didn't even get the eyebrow thing out of that. I don't think. Maybe we did, and I just don't remember.
There's a certain part of me that kind of misses the early CGI movies where you get like RoboCop 2, Lawnmower Man, where it's like a lot of computer technology is treated just like magic, and you get these really weird abstract shapes that are trying to be faces. It's so strange, but it has a weird charm to it at the same time. I don't know if I'm kind of nostalgic for that or what.
I'll be honest, some games make me feel nostalgic because I'm on a Mac but doesn't run games too well. I have to turn a lot of their graphics settings all the way down, and I feel like I'm playing an N64 game at times, but then at the same time it feels nostalgic. Like, I'm actually enjoying this style. I feel like I'm a kid again.
Huh.
But Wrangler, I sent you a CGI showcase. Yeah, the CGI showcase of John Wick 4. This is how CGI companies pimp out their art. You might have to turn down the audio.
Yeah, I have it on mute. Should we have some volume, or do we just want to see the visuals?
You don't really need to see the visuals. I mean, you don't really need to hear the sound. But it shows you the ridiculous amount of CGI that goes into these things, and people don't even notice.
I was watching a behind-the-scenes thing for Avengers Endgame, and they pointed to a scene where Clinton Barton went back in time and saw his own ranch, and they said that this is some of the best CGI in the movie, and they pointed out his ankles. The suit that he was wearing was stiffer, and they went in and made it look more flexible by giving it a little bit of, a few creases as he walked and stuff. And then also in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when he was wearing the Falcon America suit at the end. I guess the neck pieces kept bulging out, and they went in and just touched up his suit so it looked like it was fitting him properly in scene. And but I thought it was funny when with that scene with Clint Barton focusing on his ankle, they went, "This is some of the best CGI we did." Just like I never thought of it. I never even realized that was CGI, and I guess that's kind of the point you were making, James.
Yeah, like most of these cars aren't even there.
The best CGI is the CGI you don't notice.
Yeah, and that's why good CGI doesn't get praised, because it doesn't look like CGI. Like, look at those two different scenes right there. That's the real one on the top.
Huh.
Night shots are easier to do, but then again, sometimes you have good CGI teams, and you have the film crew doesn't work with the CGI team, and then they film it a particular way that generally makes the CGI look shitty. The best one I can think of is the end fight scene for Black Panther. It looks like a cartoon. It looks terrible. Reason being is they shot it with too much. It was too dark. The scene was way too dark. So the CGI team had to literally enhance the brightness because you wouldn't be able to see anything otherwise. And that's what gives it that crappy look. So a lot of it really comes down to how they film it and if they're working with the CGI team. And the same goes for the practical effects team, a la the shitty Lord of the Rings show. Had tons of practical effects, and it looked fake as shit. You had a woman who wore a t-shirt that looked like armor, and you can see it wrinkling up under her. Like they could have easily fixed that. If they would have showed the art of filmmaking in these different regards, the special effects side of things, it could have looked great. But that's what you get when none of these guys get any respect.
It boggles my mind that they film so dark nowadays, because in the 80s, they used to film the night scenes during day and put a blue filter on it and call it a night.
Yeah.
It's easier to darken it down than to lighten it up.
Exactly. So why aren't they doing that?
Well, part of the reason is if you're having a movie with a lot of CGI is a lot less noticeable whenever you're making it darker. So they use that as a band-aid for patchy CGI work.
But still, they could darken it up and then CGI it in.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah,
there are some directors
a lot more control, I would think.
There are some directors who are masters of CGI. One of them, though, very notorious in his own right, Michael Bay, is a magnificent CGI director because of all the work he's had making those Transformers films. He knows how to film for CGI to a ridiculous degree. If you look at any of the background stuff, like when a Transformer's lifting something, they have like a crane lifting it for them, and he's got to imagine where Optimus is going to be and how it's going to happen and all that. Very schlocky films, but a very competent director when working with CGI. Another one who knows how to work with CGI so well that he's probably made some of the best CGI films. Damn it, what's his name? The guy that made District 9, Chappie, Elysium.
Neil Blomkamp, is that?
There you go, Neil Blomkamp. He is the best to work with CGI because he films everything down to like the color grade on his cameras for CGI. So when you look at his work, it's he does a lot of daytime shots, but everything's kind of got the same sort of texture to it, the same sort of LUT on it. That makes it blend together well with the CGI, but a lot of directors don't know how to do that, and the shit comes out looking like Disney stuff.
Another director you could kind of mention, even though the quality of his movies has kind of dropped over the years, Robert Zemeckis. He really experimented a lot with CGI in films.
That's true.
He went to such an insane degree that you could argue it goes uncanny valley in certain movies. Like I think Polar Express is a really good example of it looks weird after a certain point.
Yeah.
He does refine it in some of the later movies. He does, but the actual quality of writing is where it starts to suffer more.
Yeah, that's true. Depends. It depends.
King Bob says Corellia is the name of the famous building place in Star Wars.
One
Oh yeah, Corellia.
one director, I forget his name. He did the Mad Max movies.
George Miller.
Yes, George Miller.
Oh yeah.
He did a total. I didn't find this out till like a couple years ago, but it was pretty funny. He did a total. I don't want to say bait and switch marketing scheme. Is that he really didn't give a shit about using 100% practical effects. He just knew what worked and what didn't. And then at the end, he's like, you know what? Tell everybody it's a practical effects driven movie. That'll sell like crazy. Go do it. So the whole idea of it being like super duper practical effects was pretty much just a marketing scheme they pulled out at the last
An
minute.
afterthought, yeah.
You're like,
Yeah,
But you
Mad
mentioned
Max-
Transformers, so
Mad Max Fury Road, the movie that has an orange filter over all of it.
Ooh.
yeah. And one character's got a CGI arm. People, what's her name? Furiosa. She's got a CGI arm.
Right.
but James, you mentioned Transformers, so I got to do it.
Me Grimlock kick butt.
I
That's
love
from
that movie.
Yeah, that's from the movie, right?
Yep, the original, the real one, not the
Where
live action one, the real one.
The real Transformers movie.
Spoilers. Yeah, the one that traumatized a generation, but
Any
didn't-
deaths.
that's why there's no Gen X pussies. They're all pre-traumatized.
Yeah, that I was quite shocked when I saw that as a kid in theaters.
That movie was how I got
stopped
into
enough not to
Transformers.
watch it again and again and again and again, but
They were gonna kill somebody off in the G.I. Joe movie too, but they changed their minds because they were like, okay,
Because of-
that's too much for this generation.
You're right.
We're gonna
The
be all my heroes
Transformers
are
movie
dead.
was how I
Yeah.
got introduced to Transformers. I had not watched hardly any of the show. I'd watched zero of the cartoon. So it's like whenever I'm actually seeing friends like playing around with like Transformers toys, I'm like, hey, this looks really cool. Who is this guy? Optimus Prime. He can turn into a truck. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Let's check out this movie that I just rented at Blockbuster. Start watching it. Oh, there's Optimus Prime. 20 minutes later. Oh, Optimus?
and because in the movie poster they showed Optimus actually taking a shot with his gun at Unicron, I kept going, oh no, he's coming back. Oh, he's coming back. I'm not worried. And then they get to the planet of junk and Wreck-Gar fixes Ultra Magnus. I'm like, yeah, now they're going to go get Prime and then they're going to kick some butt. Never happened. And then I walked
Weep,
out of there
Brahma,
like,
Weep, Ninibon.
Ba weep, grana weep, ninny bong. And I do have to abuse this video one more time before we wrap up tonight. Meow.
Funny.
Oh,
That's
those
how-
cat hands are creepy.
Yeah, they kind of look human. But
King
that's-
Bob says, "Oh please, Don Bluth killed someone in like every one of his kids' movies." I'm
Oh,
not.
is that
I don't know
a-
if I'm familiar with Don Bluth movies.
You know what
That's
I've come to learn is that not a lot of Transformers fans know who Stan Bush is, which I found surprising.
Really?
Yeah, like Otter, Stan Bush.
Yeah, you've got the touch, you've got the power.
That's
I
two.
like Dare better than the Touch, but they're both awesome.
Dare is
Dare
my
is good.
favorite. I
Yeah,
love
and,
Dare.
and Heat of Attack he did, I think, last year. That was awesome.
Yeah, I talked to like a fair amount of Transformers guys, and I think like less than 25% knew who Stan Bush was.
Stan
Wow.
Bush's discography just makes me think of some kind of mix between Survivor and Journey. It sounds like it's somewhere in the middle ground there.
Yeah, he's absolutely consistent with his style and tone. You get
Yeah,
him
even to this
you get
day.
a song from him last year or 30 years ago, it sounds like the same style. Yet it's
Yeah.
still each song is unique. And
I think his latest one was Transformers based too. He made a Transformers song for like the latest movie or whatever.
yeah, and I played Heat of Attack for Sonnet, and I said, so when do you think that came out? She's like, 87. I'm like, nope, earlier this year. She's like, what?
Yeah, Heat of Attack. That's a good one too.
I loved how the movie got a lot of rock and metal groups to do the soundtrack, and then years later I watched the heavy metal movie and I go, oh, the soundtrack reminds me a lot of the Transformers movie.
It was well, also Rocky, because Vince DiCola scored a lot of movies, and that was one of them.
Oh,
And what's his name?
Transformers was one of them.
Stan Bush also did a lot of soundtracks for, or at least a few soundtracks for some Van Damme movies as well. He did the Bloodsport soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
oh,
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
famous-
realize that.
Yeah, that's the Kumite song. Everybody remembers from Bloodsport. That's him.
I didn't know that. Wow.
I need to
Yeah,
rewatch that movie. It's been a
and-
few years.
He did a few other ones too. I think he had a story saying that he ran into Van Damme because they don't really meet each other while they're making these things, and he ran into him like a year later, and he said the music was better than the movie.
Okay, King Bob. He says, Don Bluth did a lot of your favorite animated Disney movies like Land Before Time. I haven't watched it. All Dogs Go to Heaven. I haven't watched it. Secret of Nim. I haven't watched it.
Ooh, you gotta watch
How
Secret of
American
Nim.
Tale. I watched that one over and over again.
You gotta
I
watch
seen
Secret of Nim.
Secret of Nim is really good. I really
Out
like
of all of them, I seen All Dogs Go to Heaven, American Tail, and the dinosaur one, Land Before Time.
it.
the first one.
Anastasia is another big movie that
I
a lot of
remember
people
watching
like.
one as a kid. It was animated rabbits, but they were realistic looking. You know, it wasn't
Watership Down.
Down.
Yes, I saw that one, and that was kind of a bummer.
I've
Oh, yeah,
actually
that's not
read
a
the book.
kid's film.
Yeah, it's not a kids film. I read the fucking book for that. It's kind of meant to be a little traumatizing. Like that's sort of the whole point.
Yeah.
It's a great book. I really enjoyed it. Also, Bigwig really needs to live.
Anyway, I think it's time we wrap it up. We went a little long, and that's okay. We were having fun. All right. So, anything else anybody want to mention before we do our parting plugs?
I would like to give an artist shout out. So along with Frederick, Neutron Boar, and Umbrella Cat, I am also commissioning Corey Barton for the second book of mine, and his artwork is pretty stellar. If you're into comic book art at all, I recommend you give him a search. His art's really cool.
Now, will we find him on his own webpage or on the X Twitter or what?
He's
book?
on X and Twitter. That's where I learned about him.
Have a great night, Lore Raider. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, if you ever want to know about Tomb Raider, Metroid, or Bayonetta, that guy, he knows his details on that. Yeah, I mean, you want to dig into the nitty gritty on their lore. He is appropriately named the Lore Raider. So check out his channel. All right, James.
If you want to catch my stuff, I'm like low energy right now, so Currently writing my novella. Talk about it every single week. You want to catch my stuff? worldwithoutendlore.substack.com. Where I'll probably be sharing a lot more of these AI videos, at least a few of them.
All right. Otter.
Well, I'm currently getting my novel, my second novel, fixed together, which I think will be on Kickstarter eventually. That is my plan in the future for it when it eventually releases. I'm getting artwork and everything together while I edit some small rough edges out. In the meantime, you can find my first book, The Curse of the Star Raids, on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all the big retailers. If you like swords and sorcery with themes of brotherhood, some weird magic, high fantasy, and a little bit of spice, aka athletic tits, I think you'll like it.
All right. Redrick.
imakecomics.com is where you can find me and the project I'm working on. So always working on this Rattel #1, which might appear in an expo in El Salvador in November. We'll see. I applied for an expo there, and it might happen. Cross our fingers. And yeah, you can also find me on YouTube tomorrow, streaming at 8 o'clock for Tuesday's art stream, Proof of Comics. So it's kind of like this with a lot of the same characters, and where I draw, and we just talk about pop culture and stuff, and yeah, have strange AI clips and stuff like that.
All right. And you can find my stuff on Amazon, Haley Star Bad Kitty, and Bad Kitty Haley's World. Both available now. You could also find some of that. You could see some of it now on Substack at my Frequency Studio Substack. Check that out. Also, there's merch. You can get T-shirts with not just the Frequency Studio logo, but T-shirts of Haley and Elizabeth are available there as well. Links are in the description. And that's going to about do it. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. It was a good time tonight. If you enjoyed this presentation, hit the like. And if you didn't, we appreciate you stopping by. We'll see you next time. And God bless.
Bye-bye, world. Bye-bye now.
Au revoir.
See you next week, world. Maybe tomorrow, even.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Maybe.
Hopefully tomorrow. Hope to see all you guys. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, that means something bad happened.
I'll be live tomorrow.
Watch all the streams tomorrow. So many streams.
All the streams.
Yeah,
at least
Tuesday,
one of them.
Tuesday went from a stream desert to stream overload.
Yeah. Might have to move the show to Wednesday. Who knows?
Don't cross the streams.
Yeah, bad things happen when you cross the streams.
Y'all go listen to some Stan Bush.